guys, it's Alex and welcome back to my channel. And I'm going to do a get ready with me while telling a story time about my college crush. Okay, so I kind of had a teeny bit crush my first semester of college, but I'm not going to get into much detail because it's not about that. But my second semester, wow, let me just start off by saying I've never had a boyfriend, never had a kiss, never even been on a date. So I really thought this guy was gonna be my first boyfriend. But yeah, let me just start getting ready, like do my skincare and makeup, and while I tell you the story. I even got my headband. Also, sorry if the video is not really good quality. I'm recording on my phone because I lost my camera like a couple years ago. So to start off, I'm not gonna say this guy's real name. This guy, I'm gonna say his name is Jason. Okay, so this was in psychology class, by the way. And when I first saw him, like it was like literally a glance. When I first saw him, I thought he was really cute. And I was like, you know, I didn't even sit next to him. I just saw him across the room because we had to like do attendance or something. And then he was telling what he was majoring in and what like his plans are for the future and everything. But when I first saw him, I was like, man, he's kind of cute. Okay, so I didn't talk to him though because I'm scared to talk to guys. I know it's weird, but like, I don't know. I'm always like nervous when it comes to guys and relationships and stuff like that. So, but I didn't talk to him. And then next class, I also didn't talk to him. I still like glanced at him a couple times, but like I said, didn't talk to him. And I still sat in the middle of class, didn't sit next to him. But within like the next class or the third or fourth class or something, I decided to sit next to him this time. And because when we would do like group discussions or something, it would be around our peers like that we're next to. So I sat next to him, so I wanted to be partnered up with him. Like when it comes to having a huge like crush or something, I'm kind of weird. So that's what I did. By the way, this is like literally almost empty and it's so frustrating because nothing comes out anymore. And I've even tried opening the lid and pouring it out. I don't know why, it won't come out. So when we did a group discussion, it wasn't anything like our first discussion or partner up or whatever. It wasn't even that special, but every time I was around him, I would get like kind of like butterflies in my stomach. Like my chest would hurt. That's how much I liked him. And I didn't even really know him because I didn't have his number or any of his social media. We would just talk, but every time I was near him, my chest would literally start hurting. And I just could not explain it. That's how much I really liked this guy, okay? By the way, this is also almost out. It's like eye cream and it's so hard. There's like still a little bit left, but so I would like talk to my mom about this guy and everything, and she told me that before the semester ended, if I didn't talk to him, I would regret it. And I'm so glad I did talk to him because like I know I would regret it, and I'm just glad I just got that done with because I would like wonder what would happen if I did. So I ended up talking to him, and this is how like the conversation kind of started was when I was like so nervous, and he was sitting next to me and everything, and then I would say, hey, my name is Alejandra, and he would say, hi, my name is Jason, like I said, using a fake name. And I would say, so this might be a little forward, but are you single? This is the first time I was like really forward with the guy, and he was like, he is, and he asked the same thing, which why would I ask you if you're single if I wasn't? I just thought that was weird, but anyway, so I said, yeah, of course. And he was like, the thing is, I'm moving, and I was like he said he was moving by the end of the semester. I was so sad. I was like, what? You know, I was like kind of disappointed. But then towards the end of the class, I asked him for his Instagram anyway. He gave it to me. And I followed him. And we kind of have a mutual friend as well, which we didn't know. So I followed him, but he didn't follow me until the next day. And then the next class, he like texted me in class because the teacher was talking, and said that he was like sorry that he didn't like text or he didn't follow me back right away. And I was like, oh, it's understandable, you probably were like busy and stuff. But we would kind of have a conversation about our futures, what we want to do as a like a career. Oh, by the way, I see a lot of people in Get Ready With Me's when they would do that, when they use moisturizer, they don't moisturize their neck, and I'm like, it's very important to moisturize both your face and neck. I'm just pointing that out there. Don't forget to moisturize your neck, please. And also don't forget sunscreen. Anyway, so it wasn't really much of interesting stuff that we were talking about, because we would talk about our classes as well, like because we both like kind of hate math. And at the end of class, he met up with me. He was like, finally we can have a conversation in person instead of like texting. So we would also talk about like some like, I guess I was kind of talking about my social media and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I even have like a photographer and everything that takes my photos sometimes. And he's like, you're a model? And I was like, no, I'm not that, but I would just have him take photos of me out sometimes. He was like, yeah, I can tell through your Instagram. And I was like, was he checking out my Instagram, like all my photos? I was like very happy about that. I'm gonna let my kind of like sunscreen moisturizer dry before I put primer on. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about a little bit more of the story, and then I'll get back to the makeup. So we would like talk a little bit more. He was talking about he had like a job and everything, and I asked him more about like where he was traveling to, and because he said he was working to be able to afford that, because he's not gonna do a plane ride, he's gonna drive all the way to his destination. And I was so sad. I had to leave the conversation. I had to go home. So I was like, sorry, I gotta go home. He was like, okay, bye, talk to you later. And then we left it out that. And then he texted me again later. Like, he just texted me, and I was just like, didn't expect it, because I was I had a math class online, so I was in that class session. And he texted me saying, how's math going? And you know, I'm not gonna say boring stuff, because anything he talked about I was interested in, but we would just talk about math. And then we talked about more of our hobbies, like what we like to do. And like I love video games, as you guys know, so I talked to him about that, and this was also in my math class. So yeah, and then I would tell him like, asked him if he ever been to like Disneyland or anything. He said he's been to Disneyland, but he's never been to Disney World. And I told him I've always wanted to go to that. And then he was like, you never know what the future holds. I was like, what? I was like, I didn't know what that meant. But anyway, so we talked a little bit more in that day. Like, we kind of talked all day, almost all day actually, through text. And then the next morning, he texted me, good morning. I know, bare minimum, but whenever I like, you know, like a guy, like there's this one guy, huge crush. Oh my gosh, head over heels. This was all the way from middle school to 10th grade. Really liked him, but he always ignored me, and he was kind of mean. So glad we stopped talking after that. Anyway, back to the story. So I would obviously text good morning back, like, of course, a human decency thing to do. So, and then we talked a little bit more about like, I guess just things going on in life, what he's doing that day. And he said he was into like photography. I'm pretty sure he still is, but he's like very heavily into photography. And he also like said that he wants to own like a photography business, like actually own one, and he said he's gonna make it happen one day. I was like very goal oriented, so I was just like, that's honestly a good goal to have. Yeah, we actually talked all weekend as well, and then we would talk more whenever we would meet up in class together. And sometimes he wouldn't show up, sometimes I wouldn't show up. Like, I don't show up to class if I'm not feeling good. Sometimes he didn't show up if he slept in. Kind of using my phone as a mirror, which is kind of hard. So whenever we would meet, I was like I said, always smiley or whatever. But when I like saw him again, I dressed up like really nice. I had black high-waisted jeans, a green shirt tucked into the black jeans, and then I even wore heels. Yeah. Crazy. And I wore a really nice jacket as well. So he was very brave that day, and he was kind of, maybe he was flirty, I think, maybe. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but he would like, I think he waved me over to come sit next to him, so I did. And I was wearing rings on my fingers as well, and he I was like, hold on, let me show you. So I had my hand kind of like this on my like knees, because we were sitting on the floor, and I just had my like hand like this, and he reached over, grabbed my hand, and took like a ring off my thumb so he could try it on. I'm like being flirty right now, huh? So I guess I made him really brave that day by the way I dressed. I literally dressed to impress. Yeah, and then he like put it, like gave me it back, and then he took a ring off of his finger so I could try it on. And I don't know if I'm like in a drama or like a TV show, but I was like kind of shocked, because this never happened to me before. I've never had a guy be that flirty with me. I've never even had really a guy come out and ask me for my number or anything like that. So I was like kind of shocked in a way. And then later on in class, when we were having our discussion and everything, like I said, sitting next to him, and our chairs kind of have like wheels under them, like connected to the desk. And what he did was like, he was kind of put his like foot underneath my chair and brought me closer to him, because he would like kind of yank me towards him or something, like with the chair. I laughed and everything, so did he. He kind of smiled or like snickered, and I was like very shy. I'm shy, okay? I'm shy when it comes to relationship stuff or whatever. Yeah, I was like, but then I obviously like tell my mom and my aunt about that, and I just think it's like funny. I was like, I didn't think he was being flirty at first. I just thought he was being like nice and everything, but my mom told me he was, so I don't know. She always thinks any guy's like that though. But we didn't get to actually kind of talk after class though, because he had friends as well in the class, so he didn't talk to me. He talked to his friend, which fine, you can have friends, like it's not a big deal. But even though I was kind of disappointed, I will say, when I tried so many times to talk to this guy. I tried so many times to talk to Jason, and it was like I think I tried like a few times, and every time I tried to talk to him, he was either not in class, or his friend came over right away, and I don't want to interrupt any conversations, so I will always wait until he was alone so I can ask him. Like in the beginning of class, I waited, because I knew if I waited till the end of class that his friend would drive him away. So talked to him in the beginning. So we actually, after the weekend, we never really texted much, which was weird, because I've always annoyed guys in the past when I would text them all the time. So I didn't want to text him all the time, because I didn't want to annoy him. Even though he said I could talk all day and he wouldn't get annoyed. That's what he said. But I still didn't trust it, so I didn't really text him all the time like I would usually do. But we would always like hang out in class, and it was actually kind of fun because he would make me laugh all the time. Like, no joke, he was really funny. Okay, so fast forward to like spring break and everything. We didn't talk during spring break. Yeah, but oh, by the way, before spring break though, he did hug me. So when we were about to leave, he was like, okay, bye, but he did a one-arm hug. Very disappointing, I know. He did a one-arm hug. I was like shocked, so I did the same thing because I didn't expect him to hug me, but that's what he did. But after spring break, he kind of started acting a little different towards me. I did not know why, because he would not be as flirty as he used to be, and he would still talk to me and everything, but it wasn't how it was like used to, you know? So I would still like drag him, like, you know, not drag him, I'm not that crazy. I would still like go up to him and talk to him after class. He always went up to me, so this was the first time I actually went up to him because he was gonna leave without talking to me. So I did, and then we like walked towards the entrance as we usually would, and then I was just asking him more about his like plan, like for in college, because he's gonna transfer to a different college in the place he's traveling to. So I was asking more about that, and I said we should hang out sometime after school, like out of school, and he was like, yeah, we should. We didn't make plans though. He said, because he said he was like very busy and everything, so he wouldn't really be able to have the time. And I asked him like, well, I'm not that busy actually. I'm like, have no life really, so trying to be funny. I know, I suck. And he was like, well, I'm pretty busy. And I was like, oh, okay. He was gonna leave. He said bye again, and I went into the hug this time, and I did a 2-arm hug this time. I was like this, like, you know, still gave me a 1-arm hug. I was like kind of confused, like, isn't 1-arm hugs like kind of telling you it's a friendship or something? I feel like that's what it is, a 1-arm hug, like friend zoning you. But yeah, I was also like disappointed after that too, because I was like, give me a 1-arm hug. I know it's not that big of a deal probably, but I just hear 1-arm hugs indicate friend zone. So I was like, after being flirty, I just didn't get it. So eventually one day, I did like, he wasn't in class, so I wasn't able to talk to him about this in person, but I texted him, or he texted me first actually, said like, how was class and everything, and I said, great, everything's great. I asked him if I was, but like after that, I finally texted him saying if I was reading too much into what was going on, like if I was misreading anything. You know what he said? He said that a girl kind of walked into his life. I was like, what? Like, because he said a girl just walked into his life and she's okay with long distance relationships. So I don't know what that was indicating. Was like he got with her because I didn't want a long distance relationship. Like, besides, we didn't even talk about any of that really. He never came up and asked me how I felt about long distance. He never said any of that. So that's why I was like, maybe I was reading too much into it, because he was like, he hoped he didn't break my heart. And well, I told him he didn't break my heart and that it's okay. I understand. I liked you and everything, and that I knew you were moving, so I'm fine with it. That's what I told him, even though realistically I broke down crying. I was so heartbroken. I was like, liked this guy so much. And yes, I never really thought about long distance before, and for my first relationship I didn't want it, but I would have really considered it if he asked me about it, and I think I would have ended up giving in to the long distance type of thing. And anytime I would think about it or talk about that whole scenario or that whole conversation, I would cry. I was so heartbroken. And I haven't been this heartbroken since the guy from all the way from middle school to 10th grade. I was not this heartbroken since then. And like, I've liked guys here and there, but there were just like tiny big crushes. This guy was like hoping like something would, like, I didn't want to keep him back from what he wanted to do, but like that he would, I just got powder in my eye. I never want to hold someone back, like what they want to do. But I was just hoping that at least he would like probably talk to me about this relationship stuff if he actually felt the same way. And I was just, like I said, heartbroken. And I was afraid of the next class going to be awkward because of that whole conversation. I am glad I talked to him about it though, because he was never going to tell me if he met a girl or not. And I would still be flirty, and I hope I didn't make him I would hope I didn't make him uncomfortable. And I didn't want to make him uncomfortable if I was too flirty. So that's why I asked him. And by the way before spring break, when we were still kind of having our thing going on, I did, like, this was kind of like the first time I really flirted with a guy. I mean, purposely, because sometimes I would flirt with someone when not knowing I told him that he kind of makes me nervous, and I said, in a good way. He said, oh my gosh, I was so nervous that I was like making you uncomfortable or something. And I was like, no, it's not that, it's just that usually when I'm near a cute guy, they make me nervous. You know what he replied to that? He said, I don't know how to respond to that. And then he changed the subject. I was like, did I make him uncomfortable or something? I was like, was I too forward? I didn't mean to. I was just like, I thought he would accept it or something. I just, that's literally what he said. He said, because we were in silence for like 2 seconds, and then he changed the subject. I was like, okay, probably not gonna do that again. But anyway, after this whole conversation, I did miss class on that Thursday because woke up not feeling so well. So I texted him if I missed anything, really. And he said that he, like, not really, but he didn't really know because he doesn't really pay attention. He actually would fall asleep in class. So he told me he kind of fell asleep in the middle, and I was like, kind of figured. I don't know if I didn't mean to be I didn't mean to be rude or anything. I was like, kind of figured. I was trying to joke with him, and he was like, oh, that was kind of harsh. I was like, I'm just joking with you. And he was like, oh, I know. I was like, okay. But the next Tuesday he kind of like talked to me a little bit. I didn't talk to him as much as I used to, because if he had a girl in his life, I didn't want to interfere with that. I'm not that kind of person. But so I wouldn't really talk to him much after that. I mean, I would still talk to him, but I wouldn't really initiate conversation, be flirty with him that as much as I used to. And I guess he kind of picked up on that, because next time when I was getting ready for school or whatever, and he texted me saying what time I usually arrive to class, and I said, oh, about like, I leave about like 8:45 and I arrive there by 9:10 maybe. And he was like, oh, okay, well, I'm in the student union if you want to meet up with me. And I was like, okay. Did I meet up with him? No. I didn't meet up with him. If he had like a girl or anything, I was, like I said, not going to interfere with that. Oh my gosh, I feel like my face is a different color than my neck. I think it's because of the powder I use. It's kind of dark. I'll fix that in a bit. I gotta focus when I do my eyeliner, so I'll be right back. So I did not meet up with him. I actually had like another friend in the class that I would talk to sometimes, which I'll probably get into that in another video if you guys want it, about that whole friendship, I guess. I'm gonna curl my eyes real quick because it kind of looks weird when I curl it. So he texted me again in the class and was like, you should totally skip class with me. And I was like, I'm already in class. Besides, I don't like skipping. And then he said, apparently. I was like, what does that mean? So I was like, what does that mean? And then he was like, well, I saw you in class and you didn't even come to say hi to me. I was like, I was already in class. And I was like, besides, if you wanted to talk to me or anything, you could have just came to class. And he was like, he made up some excuse, I forgot what it was. But I was kind of irritated with him and kind of mad. Because, like, after all this time, he told me about this girl. And I don't know why he's trying to be like we were. When, like I said, a girl came into his life. Fine with the long distance thing. So I didn't understand why he was being like that with me. When I don't owe him anything. So I didn't know why he acted like that. Anything that's kind of like all the interesting stuff that did happen. And like we weren't really, like I said, we weren't really flirty anymore. Had this girl in his life, and I guess kind of mad that I wasn't like I used to. By the way, I did get sick within like a couple weeks. I had like a cold, and then I didn't go to class for that 1 week, and then I went the next week. Still had a cold, but I was able to actually get out of bed this time. I do think it's kind of sweet that every time he would ask if I was feeling better, because he knew I had a cold until I told him that was fine. And then this, like I said, that so-called friend insulted me because I rejected him. He seemed mad at me, and Jason defended me. I was like, I didn't need him to defend me, honestly. I was just kind of ignoring him because I don't really lash out at people unless like they need to be. But yeah, he defended me, and I was like, oh, that was cool. Did I still have butterflies in my stomach around Jason? Yeah. It was hard to get over him. So hard. I'm not even sure if I'm like 100% over him. But I don't really talk to him about him much anymore, like I used to. Honestly, if he didn't move, I think I probably would have ended up falling in love with him. He probably would have been my first love, like, honestly. But it didn't happen. Always ends up in flames when I like a guy. So, the last day of class, I did, like, he wasn't in class. So, I did, like, text him. I did text him saying that, like, so just so you know, today is the last day of class. You don't have to come back because I know you weren't here. So I just thought to let you know. And he thanked me. So he thanked me and everything. And I told him that, so just because I'm probably not going to see you again, I just wish you luck in the place you're going to. And I just hope everything works out for you there. And yeah, I just wanted to say bye. And he was like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure we'll like bump into each other again, but if we don't, thank you. And he said something else I kind of also forgot. And he was like, you know, we could just text each other, like, because we're just like, we have each other's Instagram still. We could just text each other whenever we want. Or you could just text me whenever you want. And I was like, okay, you can do the same then. And then that was really our last conversation. Kind of sad, I know. I will say within like a month, like in June, I received a text from his Instagram, but it wasn't him. His Instagram got hacked. So I ended up blocking the Instagram. And I did leave him a little message, in the DMs saying that, so I'm gonna block you because I know this isn't you, but if you ever get your Instagram account back, here's my number, you could just text me. He didn't, and I don't even know if he got his Instagram back. So I don't know if he got his Instagram back, so he either didn't see my text message, so that's why he didn't like get my number, or he just doesn't care and he refuses to text my number. It's fine. Okay guys, my face actually does kind of match my neck in like person, but it looks different color on camera. My hair is still wet, but it's fine. Anyway, that is the story of my college crush. Like I said, could have been my first boyfriend, but I'm actually kind of glad he wasn't in the end, because I could probably find someone better out there for me. I probably did dodge a bullet, but like I said, really liked this guy and I wanted to share the story with you guys. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't, and comment your thoughts about this story. Let me know what you guys think, of Jason. And yeah, bye.